While
Sweet.
I'm sharpening Rev, I ask him what it feels like for him.
In terms of what? To be sharpened?
Yeah, what does it feel like?
It's
He
great.
gives you almost like like a purring back when you ask him.
Okay, I just
You
pet the
touch the
hilt.
hilt. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
purring a little bit.
Okay, good to know. I've never sharpened him before, so.
And then anyone else want to do anything? You guys want to go sleep?
After the alarm's done, go to bed.
Okay. Dongo, are you going to sleep? Okay. You said yes, but you're muted. Just so you know, I understood you. I got you, cats. All right, everyone goes to sleep. Kang, you're going to be probably the first one to wake up. You
Cool.
walk out the door, and you see all these tents that were not there when you went to sleep, but you recognize a couple of the guards walking about. What are you doing? You want to just wait for everyone?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything that I want to get done before the rest of the crew shows up.
Okay. Uh, Another hour or so passes, and you start to see Bongo, Dongo, and Riley, as well as all of the guardsmen wake up. It is now the next morning. You guys regain half of your HP. Your current HP the day prior was 6, 12, 9, and 15 for Neal, Katz, Ryan, and Riley.
What's my max?
Should be on a character sheet. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
It looks to be 20. 20? Yeah, 20.
What about mine?
Looks to be...
So like I'd be at 19 then? Like
If
gaining
that's what
half?
it is, yeah. Your
That's
max is
half of
22,
total.
Cats. So you
Am I
gain
full
11.
HP then?
You were at 12. Yes, you are at full. The only person that would not be full is maybe Neal.
I'm full.
Neal, what's your max HP?
I'm currently at 6, or I was at 6 when we started.
Right, and so you gain half of your max again?
My max is 21, so 10, I'm at 16.
Okay. Everyone else is full?
I'm at 19 of 20.
Okay. All right. You guys are all up, and Ryan, as you're kind of putting your things together, Tim walks over to you and he says, "My lord, we have gained information. We sent 2 riders out last night to investigate the king's whereabouts, and they seem to have tracked him a little bit off. Town was actually just crushed.
Wow.
Should probably start there."
How did your riders get out without sounding the alarm?
He looks at you and just kind of like doesn't acknowledge what you just said and then turns back in.
Okay. All right. So do you think we should head towards the town?
He stops as he's walking away and he goes, "That would probably be the best."
All right. I relay that to the rest of the party.
He turns to you and he goes, "Do you want escort?"
Yes.
He goes, "Great. I will send 2 men with you."
How many are
It-
total in the camp, would you guess?
You're not really. I mean, it's a shit ton of people. It's basically a small traveling town.
Like 50, 100?
Probably closer
1,000?
to 100.
Okay. He says I'll send 2 men. I say send 3.
He goes, "Fair enough, as you wish."
Okay.
He walks off. Some time passes unless you guys want to do something in the morning. Doesn't look like you do. 2 men show up. Ryan, right next to you. They introduce themselves. They
3?
don't-
3 show up or 2?
3 show up. Sorry, good correction.
Okay, cool.
3 show up next to you. They don't introduce them, or they introduce themselves, but they don't give you their names. One of them is carrying a great sword. One of them is carrying a staff, and the other is carrying 2 daggers at his side.
Sick. I just nod to them and motion for them to follow.
They salute with their right arm over their heart, and they follow you.
Hey, can you order them to talk to us? Because they're very quiet otherwise.
They seem like deadly killers. Is there something you want to know from them?
I just want to chat on the road.
I'm sure if you ask them a question, I'm sure they'd respond. No?
Would you people?
They look at you, and the man carrying the large greatsword turns once again to Bongo and says, "Should we talk to this man?"
You can trust all three of these people. Well, two people, one lizard man.
You see him kind of like nod his head, and he turns to you and he goes, "What is it you ask?"
I'm not asking anything. I just want us to be cool, man. Chill.
He looks back at his two compatriots to the left, and he doesn't say anything. He just looks at both of them, and they kind of nod. And the man carrying the greatsword looks at Bongo, and he goes, "Where are we going?"
We are heading into the town that was just sacked.
He goes, "Perfect. Should I prepare the horses?"
Yes.
Okay. He walks off. The two men stay next to you, and some 5 minutes or so pass. He comes back with 3 horses, and you see 2 people behind him carrying y'all's horses with you. Argo also strolls up.
How did you guys find Argo?
It is your horse.
I didn't tell you that.
He goes, "We have been watching you for quite some time. We know more than you think."
Well, that's not creepy.
He goes, "It is our job."
Well, I haven't seen Argo for a couple days, so I like hug him around the neck and pet him.
Okay. You guys mount up and ride to the house?
Yep.
Or ride to the town? Okay. The guy with the great sword follows you. Or sorry, tells you that he knows where he's going, and so you follow him. You guys leave mid-morning, probably 10 or so, and by the time you get to the town, it was about a 4-hour ride on horseback. So it's a little bit after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys arrive on the town. As you do, you see a bunch of smoldering fires. There's smoke coming up, but most of the fires have been put down. Buildings which were 2 and 3 stories tall are now just in ruin. They're completely crumbled. There's a couple of people standing about, but for the most part, it looks like a completely just demolished town.
On the way to the town, I would have liked to ride next to the guy with the staff and ask him like if he's a mage and shit.
He looks at you and he goes, "Of course. Why else would I have this?" He
What
pulls out
type?
the stuff.
Well, you could be a clerik or something else.
He goes, I am a mage. There are only one type of mage, and that is mine."
Okay.
Goes, "Are you looking for something in particular?"
Do you work with all elements of nature, or?
He goes, "No. I am as common as any other mage."
Okay, cool, man.
I also
just want to
wanna
know
ask-
what you can do, so we can take it into account if we go into battle.
He goes, I will be ready if battle meets us.
Yeah, okay, cool. You're cool, man. What's your name?
He doesn't answer you when you ask what his name is.
Wow. All right.
While we're approaching, I also ask, what do you think could have caused this destruction?
The man with the great sword on his back turns to you and he goes, "Surely it was the king. There's nothing short of an army could do this unless it was the king himself. He has, over the years, gained much power through unknown means. It's one of the things we are trying to find out as he has grown outside of the limits of this world, it seems."
So did he not die 100 years ago?
Are you asking, or are you just...
I'm asking that.
You're asking the man?
Yeah.
He goes, well, I believe you talked to his queen, did you not?
We may have, but that was a couple months ago, and I have no idea what she said.
He goes, he was slain many years back, and we thought that he was not going to be an issue anymore. However, he made a deal. He gained power through unknown means, like we said. We are trying to, once again, discern that.
After he died?
Oh.
Or before he died?
After. Before, he was simply a great knight. But there are
So-
many great knights in this world.
He
Hey, weird
died,
man, so-
and then after his death, he gained power through a deal with someone.
That is what our best guess is. It might have
Okay.
just been...
So we should, if we want to stop him, we should find out where he's going or find out what his goals are, find out who he made a deal with, find out when exactly he made that deal. Because if he made it when he was dead, how can we get to the person that he talked to? Like, can we die and then talk to them? So I think we need to figure out what's going on here. We need to.
Yeah, swordsman. My question to you is, if you follow the strong and the king is really strong, how can he be out of the limits of this world? Who sets that?
He looks at you and he goes, "He did not slay our leader. If he was, we would be following him."
And he would no longer be outside the limits of this world?
He goes, we are only the balance keepers. We do not decide who needs to be killed or otherwise saved. That is not up to us. We only do the actions. We do not decide.
Who decides?
It has always been a ritual. We have received these actions that we must do. We never question them. That is part of they. It's part of who we are.
But who communicates the information onto you? Who?
He looks at you
Is it
and
some sort of spirit?
he looks back at Bongo as if he's wondering if he should answer or not. Waiting for an answer from Ryan.
Yes, you as I've said many times, you can tell these people whatever you want.
He turns once again to you, Dongo, and says, "Tim receives the orders. If there are orders to be received."
That's funny. All right, thanks, man. You trust this Tim guy?
He goes, "I have no reason not to."
How did he become your leader?
He is not our leader. Dongo is.
How did he become your quest giver?
Bongo is. Through the ranks and through time. We will all one day become that if we live long enough.
If Tim was to tell you to attack us, then you wouldn't.
If that is what we are given as a task, we shall carry it out.
Even if Tim tells you to attack my brother, you would do that.
He nods.
So Tim is, if not the leader, the ultimate authority of the group.
Because we may act on our own, but we must always keep the balance. If I kill, he points over towards this person, some random villager. He says, if I kill him where he stands, I must do something to keep the balance. Perhaps save someone else a town over. Whatever the action calls for.
So if you save a town, do you have to slaughter an orphanage?
He doesn't answer, but he looks like he's acknowledging you by his silence. That's the kind of the feeling you get.
All right, the Looney Tunes are fucked up. Thanks, man.
Well, let's go investigate this town. See what kind of destruction has been wrought by the king.
He goes, fair enough. He rides forward.
Is this Esterwick that we came up to?
No, this is a town. Esterwick was...
Oh, so Esterwick's fine. This isn't necessarily...
Yeah, as far as you know, Esterwick is fine. Yeah, this is not Esterwick, though. This is the village of Dorn.
Was this town recently destroyed?
Yes, the fires and everything indicate that it was very recent, as if it was standing yesterday.
Okay. I become very pale then, and under my breath, I say, this is all our fault.
You said this is the village of Dorn?
Yeah.
Okay.
D-O-R-N.
Yeah, so I start looking for, like, any kind of vipers, like, if they're red or just, like, whatever. See what I can find.
I also asked one of the people we're traveling with if they know exactly how the king escaped.
The man with the staff looks at you, and he goes, once again, it was a deal. That is all we know. We are still trying to find more.
Okay, so I think to myself that maybe it's not our fault that we didn't release him, but I'm pretty certain that we released the king, and this is how it happened, so maybe these guys weren't following us that closely.
The man with the greatsword goes off into town, kind of on his own, as he's doing some, maybe talking to people, looking around. The person with the 2 knives sticks close to the rest of the party, closer to Bongo than anyone else, and the man with the staff is actually following Riley around. What do you guys want to do? There's a couple people standing around. Looks like villagers probably lived here. You're not too sure. They're
I'll
very
approach
sad,
a
very
villager. What happened here?
mopey. It's a younger man, probably in his 20s or so. He was like, who? Is it safe to talk to you?
Yes. Again, what happened here?
He looks at you and he goes, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was, I don't know what it is. Something in the streets just ravaging through the buildings. I saw, and he points over to, looks like one of the biggest rubbles in the town. He says, I saw the mayor's house fall in a single swipe. I've never seen anything like that.
How big was this creature?
He goes, it looked to be a man on a horse. Is average is that person. He points towards Kang.
And he was alone? You saw no one else?
He goes, only him and his horse.
Which way did he ride after he finished ravaging the town?
He rode west out of town, from all reports. He left behind a trail. You can find it quite easily.
I think,
Could you point us to this trail?
He points down to the ground. You look down at the ground. You see, looks like really, really deep hoof prints, as they hit the ground, they like burned it.
How large is the hoof?
As average as any other horse. As simple as any other horse.
There's no like crazy
This-
claw marks too?
Is there what?
There's no like crazy claw marks too?
No.
Okay.
This
think
looks
we
like a fire horse. I've always wanted a fire horse.
He goes, it was not on fire, sir. It was not on fire. It was
Huh.
Again, the man and the horse is as normal as possible as can be. That's why it was so remarkable when he was able to take down buildings with a single strike.
But the horse seems to have burned the ground to some extent. Either way, I want his fucking horse. Let's go get him.
When he took down buildings, was he doing it with his sword or with magic? Do you recall?
I was running for my life at that. I have no idea. As soon as we heard him outside, everyone started running.
All right.
I remount, and I say, let's follow this scorched earth to
Okay.
the king.
You see the man with the great sword on his back come up to you and says, looks at you, Bongo, and he's like, he was here. We could probably find him not too far, as long as he is stopped riding through the night.
Could you? I say, let us ride.
Okay. He turns
Gonna
and
take
starts
off.
riding.
As we're riding, I ask, could you three alone attempt to kill this king?
He goes, if that is what you wish, we shall do what you
But
command.
my question is, do you think you would be victorious?
Because if you are questioning our strength is unmatched, but I do not know how strong this king is.
Well, if your strength is unmatched, then it seems
It has
right.
not been matched to this day, is what I'm saying, sir.
okay. All right, let us.
Perhaps in a group of 100, it's pretty good. But your previous leader, he wasn't very strong.
Are you guys really gonna take this guy Snark just because he wears that cloak?
No,
Yeah.
Ryan's wearing the cloak, not Dongo.
Yeah. It's like Orion's.
Oh, Ryan Snark? The guy looks at you and he goes, if our Lord commands us to get off of our horse and walk back to town at this moment's notice, we will do exactly as he says.
See yourself.
I turn to Kang and I whisper, "These people are fucking deluded, man."
These people are crazy.
Yeah.
They're
This-
fucking crazy.
This whole time we're riding along the path of the king. Like,
Okay. Yeah, you guys follow the path outside of town. It goes into a forest, which is it's pretty thick. You're having a hard time riding right next to one another, and you guys have actually had to slow your pace down because there are quite a few branches hiding off the trees, and you're having to kindly as you get deeper into the forest, it gets thicker and thicker, and you're really having to, you know, or dip below some tree branches, perhaps even dismount as the trees and branches are getting quite thick, as well as all the other foliage. Let's go with that. And eventually, the man with the great sword is basically using it as a bushwhacker and just clearing a path in the front of you guys to make it through this. The trail.
Does he swings his sword?
Do what?
Does he look skilled as he swings his sword?
Oh
Are
yeah,
we
as he
impressed?
swings his sword, when it hits the ground, the ground kind of trembles around you.
Cool.
Eventually, as he's doing this, you guys realize that whatever your tracks you guys were following are no longer there. He's simply just kind of hacking away into the forest. The track seems to have gone cold.
Hey, stop hacking, man.
Are there any among you who are skilled trackers?
You see the person with the 2 daggers kind of motion towards you, and he goes, "I can track."
Find this
King
trail again.
unmatched.
He goes, I cannot track. He is clearing the way for me. He must be somewhere in this forest. However, we are doing our best, sir.
Okay.
He seems to not give you really an answer.
Would he not have cleared his own path?
He goes, again, the king has many powers, perhaps those that we don't know. The tracks led into this forest. They are no longer here.
All right, where the tracks stop, I want to discern realities.
What are you looking for in particular?
I'd be asking something like, what here is not what it seems, or, some of those questions, like maybe the king is invisible or something like that.
I mean, you look at the tracks, and they just kind of die out. They get softer and softer. You can't really tell. You don't see any magic in the place. And if you were to discern realities, you're not going to learn anything extra about that.
Okay.
The wizard with you starts casting a spell. He gets off of his horse, and you see him start to summon and hold his staff in his hands.
I ask him what he's casting.
He seems very focused on the cast and doesn't answer you.
Kang, perhaps you could use your orb of fire.
Yes. In my character change, that got slightly modified to a different ability.
Oh.
I can ask people a question and they'll have to answer the truth, but I no longer have, like,
You can't
answer
see
any...
into the future.
Not quite, no.
Okay. Never mind. I guess we just give it some time then while they try and find the path again. Unless somebody else wants to do something.
Nope. But, guys, I know I've suggested this before, and I'll bring it up again later, but do you guys think we could change our sleep schedule so we go out on missions at nighttime?
Wait, what you want us to sleep during the day?
To sleep during the day, yeah. I know plenty of people that do it.
So,
And
as you look around, Dongo, you realize that it's dark enough to where you could probably go into shadow form if you'd like, and the sun would not bother you at this particular point just because of how dense the forest is.
yeah, but I can't risk it because if there's a speck of light, I'll die.
Right. I'm just letting you know, like, there's ways that we can bend that to where you don't, like, you're not always just fucked.
Okay.
Well, there's nothing I want to do in particular here, but that's nice knowing if we go into battle.
Okay. The wizard finishes casting his spell, and you realize that his eyes have gone completely white over. They're, like, glazed over. He doesn't seem to be where he's standing, if that makes sense. He's off somewhere else. The man that with the great sword who's chopping his through, you eventually hear his sword meet some other material that's not wood. Sounds like it's clashing against stone. And as he hits that, the man with the twin blades speaks up and he goes, "Over here," calling to Bongo.
I rush over.
As you rush over there, you notice that there is a large stone, kind of like an obelisk, but it's probably only, I don't know, 5-6 feet tall. Probably 5 or 6 feet across as well, in height and in width.
What is this?
He looks at you. He goes, "I don't know. I've never seen anything like this. There's ornate markings all around it as well." He's tracing them with his fingers, trying to figure out exactly what it is.
Can you? None of you can read this.
Because we have never seen anything like this.
Can I discern realities on the obelisk then?
Totally.
Okay, let's do that. That is against my
Wisdom.
Okay. Oh, wisdom. Shit. I was thinking int for a second. So plus. Sorry. +1.
Okay.
10.
10. You may ask me 3 questions from the list below.
Okay. What has happened here recently?
As you're kind of feeling up and down on this obelisk, you notice that there's a portion of it that looks like it has a groove in it, in the sense that something has been slid. Like that is where it moves in and moves out, and that it has been opened recently.
Okay. What should I be on the lookout for?
You're looking around on the obelisk as well, and you notice that there is a keyhole in the bottom right-hand corner of it, closest to the ground.
Okay. And what is about to happen?
We'll take a break, and I'll answer the questions when we come back, because we're up on the hour.
Perfect.
So cool. Still got, I think, 2 more hours, unless anyone has to go. And I don't think they do. So we'll take this quick break. We'll come back and go into hour 3. Right after this, we got more roleplay Vigil coming up. We'll see you guys soon.